for Paula today, so let's give him a big hand. Yes, yes. And we are ready to sing My Soul is Welcome Here, because you are in the right place at the right time, right? That's right. So let's all sing together. Here we go. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. In the right place, I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. Yeah, I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. In my soul, oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. And I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome, and your soul is welcome, and all our souls are welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time, and I'm just where I'm meant to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here, and oh, my soul is welcome here, and I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here, and oh, my soul is welcome here, and I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Come on, get your hands up. It's welcome here. Yeah, my soul is welcome here. Come on, my soul is welcome here. Yeah, my soul is welcome here. Yeah, oh, my soul is welcome here. Yeah, it's welcome here. Yeah, and my soul is welcome, and my soul is welcome, and I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome. Ooh. Here. Yeah. Thank you.
Well, if you didn't know it before, you know it now. Your souls are welcome here. Thank you, Larry, for breaking into our service for today. And good morning again, Reverend Deborah. Good to see you and all that are here representing the Spirit of God.
And good morning, Reverend James, and it's great to be here. And we welcome you in the name of all that is good, all that is holy, and all that is sacred, and in the warm and loving energy of this community, Spiritual Life Center. Spiritual Life Center honors all people worshiping in temples, mosques, churches, stone circles, and the beautiful temples of nature, because we know there is no space that God does not grace. And if you're with us for the very first time today, whether online or here in person, we especially want to welcome you, because we know that you are here, not here by accident, that every single one of us is here by
Divine appointment.
And we're always so very excited to get together on Sunday. And of course, we're equally as excited when you silence your electronic devices, and please refrain from flash photography during the service.
Well, let's keep our appointment with this presence, knowing that we're living and moving and having our beingness in something that is changeless, that is always here for us. It may not be seen by us, but it's more real than the floor we're standing on or the chairs we're sitting in. It is the Spirit of the living God. We come under His government and His guidance. We allow it to have its way with us. We look toward it, we feel it, because we are it. It lifts us up, it leads us to wholeness and healing and vitality and vigor and all that is good and perfect. So every thought we have, every word we speak, every action that we take is in alignment with this energy, this vibration of the presence. And when we are in tune with it, we can say without a doubt, when you see me, when you see any of us, you see the presence that sent us. For this presence and I and all of us are one. And when we begin to recognize that and live from that truth, healings happen, upliftment happens, transformation happens, and we anchor on earth and in our lives the all good. For this and so much more, we're grateful and thankful as we go forth, manifesting and radiating this all good presence that we call God. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen. Well, we have a very important purpose here at Spiritual Life Center that is reflected in our mission statement, and I invite us to affirm it together. To transform lives, to make a positive difference in the world, as we love, serve, and remember. And we carry out that mission as we embody, as we incorporate, as we live out to the best of our abilities, 5 universal principles and make them part of our daily life. Again, let's speak them aloud together. God is absolute good and everywhere present. People are inherently good. Thoughts create our experiences. Prayer and meditation are how we connect with God, and we must take action.
And one of the great actions we're taking on Wednesday night is the Wow Wednesday program, and this is going to be our 3rd week of Understanding Prosperity. We're going to be talking about the art of giving. Now, I'm basing this on the Abundance Project book, and he has 7 different ways that giving were really good for you, and so we'll be talking about them on Wednesday night. We had a great conversation last week, and I expect to have another one this week. So join us for the community meal at 6, and we will have the program start at 7.
And if you're new to Spiritual Life Center and want to know a little bit more about who we are, what we're about, and possibly becoming a member of our community, we're having a community member information session today at 1 o'clock. And for those who may be online, you can also tune in by Zoom, and we'll just answer questions that you may have about our community. And we look forward to just having an opportunity for people to share how they got here and what their spiritual path is like. And we'll have a wonderful opportunity to share with one another. So that'll be taking place at 1 o'clock today in the chapel.
Faith in Action is right around the corner, and so this is your opportunity to step up, become a home host facilitator, or a home host or a facilitator, however you want that to work. This is the time of year where we come together and have a whole community book study. We are using the book In the Flow of Life by Eric Butterworth this year. It's going to be a really deep dive into just going with the flow. But we need you to sign up, and you can either do a group in your home, or if you want to do one on Zoom, or if you like to do that hybrid thing, any way you want to host a group is okay with us. You can sign up online, which is preferable. However, if you are electronically challenged, you can go to the hub and they will help you sign up. And if you have any questions about this program, please come see me.
Well, this past week I had the opportunity to participate in the Parliament of the World's Religions that took place in Chicago, Illinois. And for those who may not be aware, it's an event that now takes place every couple of years. And there's usually 8,000 or 9,000 attendees, so it's quite a number of people. They come from 70 different countries. There are 30 major religions that are represented, and another 500 sub-religions that are part of there. Some I've never heard of before, but I learned a lot from each and every one of them. But I think one of the things that it demonstrated was, the glimpse of what the world can be, regardless of whatever spiritual path you happen to be on. And I think we have a few photos that I took, some selfies, just to get a glimpse of our experience. This was the Kijong folks that were there, and they had their particular booth, and they were showing me, one of their signs that they do. I don't quite remember what it is. I need to look it up again. They gave me a lot of literature, but it was an opportunity for us to kind of share a little bit about what they do. And it was a wonderful opportunity to connect with them as well. And then I went to their booth, and behind there is a bunch of cards that everyone put on there. And everyone was writing their vision for a world that works for everyone. So you could write an affirmation, a vision, and we took a couple photos as well about love and peace and bringing a consciousness of possibilities for all of humanity. And as I was walking through, I always connected with different individuals there, because I think more than the events and the breakout sessions, it's the opportunity just to connect with people who come from a different background, just to know that at the end of the day, we're pretty much all the same, looking for the same things. And so I think there was one that I took a picture of, I think the 6th. Oh, no, this was a group. I had a breakout session with some of my friends. All of them were Unity ministers, And there were a number of global ethics that the Parliament is promoting. And we each, in this particular session, we had a very provocative title. And the provocative title to bring people in is Racism and Fake News. And we looked at all of the particular tenets of the Parliament that they're promoting, including how we create a culture of nonviolence against people and so forth. And my particular one was about how do we create a culture of sustainability and support of the earth. And I was looking at, how marginalized communities sometimes are unfairly or impacted by the change that we're having in our environment. So anyway, after it was over, we drew a bunch of people there. They were very curious about what we were going to talk about. We had a really good time. And then I think the next one is a couple of 6 friends that I had met while we were there, and we were just sharing, our visions and about possibilities of our world. And it was just great to expand. And then I ran into Dakota. While I was there, I ran into Paul Sanchez. He was there. Denise Schillick was there, and a few other people that I knew. With 9,000 people there, you don't know, you just by random, we just happened to cross paths, but it was a wonderful experience. And I think more than anything else, it helped folks come together on things that are in common for all of us that will help all of humanity to fulfill its potential. So anyway, that's a little glimpse of what we had at my experience here at the Parliament of the World Religions. Now, one of the reasons we come to Spiritual Life Center, among other things, I believe, is to have a transformed life. I say if we go to any spiritual communities, really, hopefully our life is better now than it was before we walked through the door. And so every month, we have someone come to give a transformational story. And now I'm going to ask Dominique Salazar to come forward, and I'm going to ask him a few questions. Now, he was the magnificent MC at our event a couple weeks ago. He's a multi-talented young man, but he also has a story. He's on his journey, and hopefully we're helping that unfold for him. He'll share a little bit about that. So can you tell me maybe what your obstacle was, your challenges that kind of led you on your path for your spiritual growth?
Hi, everyone. So let's see, goodness. So, as a performer, we all have to come up here and appear that everything is okay and that we're having a great time. We are having a great time performing, but, all of us, not just us performers up here, but I mean, everyone here, we all go out in the world and we try to appear our best, but we all have our own personal darkness that we're all dealing with, right? Everyone has their own story, and I suppose I'm no different. So for me, I would say that right now I'm still kind of going through the dark period, but things are a lot better now than they were a year ago. And so what happened a year ago? It was at the end of July. I was out at this gig. I was running sound, and at the end of the night, I ended up breaking my foot. This one right here. But now it's okay. I can stand on it. It's fine now. And around the same time, actually exactly at the same time, I was in this very long relationship, 13 years, with this girl. And little did I know, I found out later, while I was out breaking my foot, she was at home planning to leave me and move to Seattle. Literally that night, it was crazy. It was wild. And then so that happened. And also at the same time, I was playing with this band. And as musicians, we go through different projects. We have some bands that are working bands that pay the bills, and some bands that are passion projects. Like garage bands where you're with your friends and you're all in it together. And it doesn't matter how much money you make, you're all just sticking together. It's your crew, right? And that was this band that I was in, and was is the key word, because right at the same time, while my foot was broken, they decided they didn't want me around anymore. So I experienced a lot of loss all at one time. I felt like I was just losing everything left and right. I lost my ability to walk. I lost my relationship. I lost some of my best friends. It just all happened all at once. So yeah, so that's the event.
So how did this impact you as you were going through? Did you go through kind of like a wilderness experience when this happened?
Yeah, and like I said, I'm still kind of going through it now, but it's much better now. It's significantly better now. You know, back then a year ago, at this point a year ago, my foot was still broken. It was still hard for me to get around, and I was also trying to find a place to live. And, you know, I went through a lot of questioning my own identity. You know, who even am I? You know, I try to be a good person. I try to forge these relationships, and I try to do the best I can. And what was any of it for? You know, I put in all this effort, and then everyone just leaves me in the end. You know, like, so what's even the point? And I'm still kind of going through some of that. Still wondering, like, should I even open up to people anymore? Should I, you know, try to forge any new relationships anymore? And the answer is yes.
So some things maybe it came along the way that kind of helped you turn things for the better. I know you're still going through your process that you were sharing with me, but were some things that were helpful to help you kind of turn the corner?
Well, so I started playing here, subbing for Jesse, who is in the back. So thank you, Jesse, for calling me. It could have been anyone. He called me. So, but you know, that was like last April, and so that was a few months before all of this started. And once I was able to get around again, and you know, I was able to have my head on straight and move on with my life, was around the time that I was asked to play here full time. And I would say that that was kind of the start of the big turning point, because not only does playing here help me, you know, financially, it's, you know, that, you know, because it is, like I said, you know, we have working bands, and this is a working band, but being here, it started out as that, you know, I took the gig because I needed the money, and because, you know, I needed to, you know, keep my mind moving, but as well you all know, being here is so much more than that. It's so much more than that. You know, and of course it was great to be able to have Lurie here. Me and Lurie go way back, like 11 years or something. So it was good to like have a friend here. And then at the time when I started, Devon was playing drums, and I was friends with him as well. But I've learned that in order to be able to move forward, you have to be able to, well, sometimes it takes doors being closed for you, being slammed in your face, sometimes slammed on your foot, I suppose in my case. Well, that's not what happened, but we're going to go ahead and say that's what happened. In order for other doors to open, for other opportunities to present themselves. So I grew up not really religious. I avoided it if I could. I was forced to go to church as a kid, Seventh-day Adventist. And once my brother and I were both forced to go, and once we were able to like get away from that, we were just like, no more. And so my mom, who might be watching right now, hi Mom, she never believed I would be in a place like this, because that's just not who I was. But I suppose it's who I am now. And I never would have explored coming here if it wasn't for the fact that a door was closed on me, and it forced this door to be open. And being here has been so great, and I continue to learn so much more every week. There's always more to learn, but the only way that I'm going to be able to learn anything is if I allow myself to be receptive to it, right? And being here has really cracked open my ability to be receptive, I would say.
Thank you, Dominic, for sharing.
Thank you all very much.
Well, there are many opportunities for all of us to continue to grow, develop, unfold, and spiritually transform our lives. So I might invite you to check out our weekly small groups and other offerings, the happenings that are taking place at Spiritual Life Center. You can check out our website. You can look at our bulletin board that's in the courtyard, or just go to the hub and sign up for an event. So we thank you, Dominic, for sharing your experience and hopefully uplifting us as we continue on our journey. You know, one of the other reasons we come to Spiritual Life Center is simply make a connection with other people, and we sometimes wait for an event like the cabaret or Sunday service or a class or a workshop or just a gathering for lunch. But you don't have to wait for an event. You can connect with somebody right here, right now. So I invite you to turn to a friend or a neighbor, and in a manner that feels comfortable for you, and just tell them you are marvelous and glad you are here.
Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make play. You can't. Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place. If you can, take a little time out of your busy day to give encouragement to someone who's lost their way. Would I be talking to a stone if I asked you to share a problem that's not your own? We can change things if we start giving. Why don't you reach out and touch somebody's hand? All right, everybody. I hope you reached out and touched somebody's hand. We're going to all sing together our group song by wonderful Karen Drucker. Let's do it, guys. I do believe I will receive. I just have to know and then declare it to be so with an open mind and just a little bit of time. It serves my highest good, then it will be mine. I do believe I will receive. I just have to know and then declare it to be so with an open mind and just a little bit of time. If it serves my highest good, then it will be mine. Okay, now we're gonna do like an echo, call and response, okay? Ready? All right, here we go. I do believe I will receive. Just have to know and then declare it to be so with an open mind and just a little bit of time. If it serves my highest good, then it will be mine. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then declare it to be so with an open mind. Just a little bit of time. If it serves my highest good, then it will be mine. I do believe I will receive. I just have to know and then declare it to be so with an open mind and just a little bit of time. If it serves my highest good, then it is mine. Yeah. Anything I want, it is mine. Perfect health, yeah, I need that. Yeah. It is mine. Joy and love, yeah, it is mine. Think about what you want. It is mine. Joy and peace in my heart, yeah, it is mine. Anything I want, yeah, come on, Russell. It is mine. Joy and peace, yeah, it is mine. Anything I want, yeah. whatever you want. Thank you.
And now, as we move into the contemplative part of our service, let's take a nice deep breath and then embody the words of our vision statement together. Spiritual Life Center is a loving, vibrant family that welcomes home all people and accepts everyone, no exceptions. Weaving ancient spiritual traditions with emerging wisdom, we cultivate a spiritual deepening with the divine, each other, and our planet.
We're going to sing this tune together, but before we start, I want you to take a nice deep breath and get settled into your chair. We're going to sing this beautiful chant together. Please join me in singing. Joy and peace in my heart, always I feel. Joy and peace in my mind, God within revealed. Joy and peace in my life, I am here. You guys sound lovely. Joy and peace in my heart, always I feel. Joy and peace in my mind, God within revealed. Joy and peace in my life, I am healed. I am healed, yeah. Joy and peace in my heart, always I feel. Joy and peace in my mind, God within revealed. Joy and peace in my life, I am healed. I am healed, yeah. I am healed. I am healed.
Joy and peace in my heart. Feel the energy in that chant. Joy and peace in my heart, in every part of my being, and in your being. Joy and peace. The ancient Egyptians had a beautiful belief about the afterlife. When departed souls got to the entrance of heaven, the gods asked them 2 questions. Their answers determined whether they were admitted or not. The first question is this: have you found joy in your life? The second question: has your life brought joy to others? As you reflect on these questions, settle in for meditation in a way in which you are comfortable. Perhaps closing your eyes, relaxing your body, back straight, totally relaxed. As you inhale, breathe in joy, and exhale anything unlike joy. Let it go. As you continue to breathe, become aware of the in-breath. And as you breathe out, become aware of the out breath. In breath and out breath. Breathe pure joy. Breathe it in and out. Become aware that your breathing is also teaching you to receive and give. In breath and out breath. Joy in, joy out. Some of us may struggle with thoughts of worthiness to receive. We may question or whether or not it feels safe to receive. We search for validation. I know this because I too have struggled with thoughts of worthiness. But when we remember that we were born worthy, it is at that very moment that we start learning to receive. Breathing in, aware of the in-breath. Breathing out, aware of the out-breath. It's time to remember that all the worth you are filling your days trying to have confirmed, trying to have given you, it's already here. It has always been here. Breathing joyfully, I remember who I came to be. I remember that I am worthy to give as well as receive. You can remember, dear soul. Just follow those ancient rumblings within you in the silence. As we slowly return to the present moment, I invite you to keep your eyes closed for a moment of quiet reflection. If you need help remembering what it looks like or feels like, it looks like release, like crossing a threshold into an open field, like being free, like being at a crossroads and boldly making a life-enhancing choice. It feels like arriving, like all tensions leaving the body, like forgiveness and lightness. It feels and looks like a hummingbird stopping by with a God wink to say, "Hello, dear soul. You are a child of God, and you are worthy." And you replying, "It is true, I am. Thank you." It feels like soul recovery, reconnection with your own divinity, and knowing that God knew exactly where you need to be in this time and in this place. If you haven't already, open your eyes. Can you answer yes to these questions? 1, have you found joy in your life? And 2, has your life brought joy to others? I pray your answer is a resounding yes as you give and receive love, joy, and peace. May it be so.
I am one with God. I know the truth. I am one with creation and one with you. There is no separation between all that is. I am one. Joy and peace in my heart, and always I feel joy and peace in my mind, and God within reveal joy and peace in my life. I am healed, you are healed, yeah. Spirit dwells within me, it guides all I do. It infuses my life, and with the light I am new. I am rich with abundance of all that is good, because all is good. Joy and peace in my heart, always I feel joy and peace in my mind. God within revealed joy and peace in my life. I am healed, yeah. From the core, I thank you, God, for teaching me this truth. Knowing it is so, and I release it all to you. Oh. Joy and peace in my heart, always I feel joy and peace in my mind. God within revealed joy and peace in my life. I am healed. I am healed. Yeah. Oh, joy and peace in my heart. Always I feel joy and peace in my mind. God within revealed joy and peace in my life. I am healed. I am healed. You are healed. I am 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 healed. Thank you guys. I felt great.
Thank you, Laurie. Joy and peace. And thank you, Paul, for the ancient rumblings. I got a little hung up on the word ancient for a few moments, but then I was able to let that go. Because that is what spirit is that when we're really listening, it is an ancient energy. It is an ancient way of being. So I had to laugh about how the lessons for Sunday and WOW are coming together because we just decided to talk about prosperity all across the board during August. And I looked at it and went, oh, I'm talking about receiving on Sunday, and then we're doing giving on Wednesday. Okay, you're laughing because what I was thinking, shouldn't I be talking about giving first? And then I thought about it longer and I realized that this is really the correct approach because we need to be open to receiving for the giving to have any effect and for us to be talking about healthy spiritual giving and receiving. And I say healthy because so many of the ideas around giving and receiving are negative. And I bet most of you have heard this saying, it is better to give than to receive. Now, this comes out of the Christian Bible. It's the book of Acts, chapter 20, verse 35, where Paul writes, remember the words of the Lord Jesus that he himself said, it is more blessed to give than to receive. And I suspect that most of us have heard this, even if we had absolutely no religious upbringing whatsoever. It's just, actually, it's almost considered conventional wisdom. And so I have two things to say about that. First of all, it's not particularly good advice, so it's not really conventional, it's not really wisdom. And according to the Fillmore Study Bible, there is no record of Jesus actually having said this. So just Paul was just doing what spiritual teachers do and make up stuff. I didn't say that out loud. But that just goes to show that the internet did not create this plague of misquoting famous people. It just sort of sped it up. But I digress. Anyway, what if I tell you that receiving is equally as important as giving? What does that do to you? Some people will be uncomfortable with that statement. And if you are, you're in good company, so don't beat yourself up for it. Because as a culture, we tend to carry a lot of baggage about receiving. And I asked myself why that was, and I did some research, which means going to the internet. And I can't tell you how many websites I found that are dedicated to helping people learn to receive. I thought there might be one or two, and it was just like this whole list. There's the 12 ways to learn to receive. There's 5 steps to receiving. Why can't you receive? These are all different websites. And the list goes on, and whereupon I went, okay, fine. I see what y'all are doing, and we'll move on. So I was wondering, is it possible that the one statement that says it is better to give than to receive, is what had that big impact on us? And I guess the answer is yes and no. I mean, that's certainly a seed for it. But there are a lot of factors that come into play here. This is a really important topic because our prosperity really depends on our ability to receive as well as give. Now, one of the concerns that some people have is that one of the things that people have the most trouble with is they see receiving and taking as the same thing. And they're not comfortable with taking. But receiving is different from taking. A taker is a person who just takes something and gives nothing in return, whether it's a thank you or a payment or some symbol of gratitude. They just acquire and go. And there's that also the misconception that doing and giving are the same. But it's possible to do something for someone with no compassion or no connection. They just do and go. So doing is a one-way street going out. Taking is a one-way street coming in. And what I'm talking about here is that there's an energetic exchange that goes along with every encounter. And it's important that we understand that giving and receiving are part of what I call our energetic circulatory system. It's about much more than the exchange of material items or favors that we do for each other. Circulation is not optional. Talk to your heart about that. Let's see where that goes, right? Everything in our material world is constantly in motion. Atoms are made up of electrons, protons, neutrons. They're always in motion. All the material things in this room, including us, are made of atoms, which are also in constant motion. This podium only seems to be solid because its atoms are moving so slowly. And yes, that's an oversimplification. But, the atoms in the air move faster, so we don't see them as solid. Lack of circulation causes contraction, which causes stagnation, and that's often where we get stuck. When we're unable to receive, we're contracting. Or when we contract, we're unable to receive. It works both ways. And that interferes with circulation. Whereas when we relax and allow good to come in, we expand. And so it's a good question to ask of why some of us, or many of us, struggle with receiving. Now, some of the ideas I came across in my research said that difficulty in receiving might reflect the fear of becoming dependent on someone. Or, you do this for me, then I'm going to owe you something. Or that receiving makes you vulnerable, or that you might fear being disappointed. Or maybe, and I love this one, maybe it's just a matter of a mind-reading situation, is that you're thinking that the other person should know what you want and just act on that. Now, I know no one's ever done that, but those are some of the blocks that are discussed online. But, when I came into New Thought in the mid-'70s, prosperity was the thing. That was the first classes I took were prosperity classes, and they were hitting it really hard back then. And so I got to I've been looking at this for quite a few years, we'll just be delicate. And I decided not to engage in some of that other stuff and just look at what I call my level of deservability. And the truth is that if you don't believe that you deserve something, you're unlikely to get it. And sure, it might come your way, but if you don't think you deserve it, you might just reject it out of hand, or more likely, it'll just go whizzing on by you and you won't even see it. And then one of the things that I see on the internet that drives me bonkers, and I try not to get involved in that, I really do, but I see these photos of dogs and these little videos of dogs, and they're just so sweet and adorable, and then somebody says, "We don't deserve dogs." Yes, we do. We wouldn't have dogs if we didn't deserve them. And so I talk to my computer. I don't make comments. I do not comment except, to the screen, and the screen is impervious to my outrage that that's the thing to look at. Is like, if I've got something in my life that's really good, why would I stand there and say I don't deserve those? Why wouldn't I just say thank you? And I used to shake my head and I scroll, but I just kind of scroll by now. But I'm thinking, yes, we do. So I'm going to continue to affirm that we actually do deserve dogs. I'm sometimes wondered about cats, but they have their moments too. Deservability has its roots in our subconscious programming. And Reverend James has been talking about how important our subconscious is most of this month, and I think we were talking about it a little bit last month too. Actually, that's what we're always talking about. Because it's important for us to become aware of our thought processes, to tune into the subconscious messages that we send ourselves on an ongoing basis. Now, I had a friend who was experiencing a very challenging financial situation, and it went on for many years. And one day we were having lunch, and she was talking about the situation and how things were going, and I just, kind of calmly said, casually said, I said, well, is there any possibility that you just don't think that you deserve to be financially stable? And she says, oh, no, that's not that. And I said, okay, so I let it go. In further conversation, it became clear that in some ways she actually did believe she deserved where she was at that point. Now, I will say that she had a really horrendous upbringing. I mean, I am still fascinated to this day that she's a functional human being. It was not a pretty thing that she went through. And often people who have been through those kinds of situations believe that it was their fault, and so they deserve what they get. And this was probably one of the causes of her situation. About a year later, we were having lunch again, and we didn't go to lunch very often. And we were having the same basic conversation, and I was listening. And again, I just sort of gently asked her, about deservability. And she said, no, it's not that. And I'm like, okay. Almost exactly a year later, we met, and this time, midway in the conversation, she said, I'm starting to think that some of this is because I don't think I deserve to have anything better in my life. And I did not laugh, and I did not remind her of our past conversations. It was such a beautiful thing watching her to come to that on her own. I let it sit, and I just celebrated that with her, and we talked about it. Now, it took about another 10 years for her to really pull her life back together. She stayed with it. She started realizing that she deserved better than what she had, and she started receiving in small ways. She moved to another state. She recently married the man that's been in her life for like 50 years. Her finances and life, are stable. And she came to realize that she did indeed deserve to be happy and did not deserve to be miserable and struggling. Now, granted, that's an extreme example, but extreme examples are, helpful. What a lot of us have is like, I was a bad student, so I don't deserve a good job, or, how we put those things together. I didn't do this, and so I don't deserve this. That's one example. Or we might say, here's one that we do to ourselves all the time. I should have known better. I got what I deserved. Probably if we really knew better, we would have done it and wouldn't have done it that way in the first place. Because hindsight will tell us, well, yeah, of course, we could have been a different way to do it. So it's always interesting to me that we so often accept that the negative is somehow okay, and we kind of reject the positive. And we don't do it intentionally. It's just that subconscious programming's doing its thing. And a couple of weeks ago, Reverend James said something about we don't need to earn our good. In fact, we cannot earn our good. We can't earn it by doing physical things, or, it's a matter of consciousness. And if we're not in alignment with Spirit, we're not going to get the good that we want. So being in alignment is what's really important. And the note I made about that was that we can earn our good in a sense when we agree with the program. And that program is the one that says we are individual expressions of God, and we are meant to be productive and happy. Now, no discussion about deservability would be complete without mention of the imposter syndrome, which is often talked about these days. I think a lot of younger people are talking about it, as they get into situations where things are going really well and they're doing this thing, and somehow inside they don't feel quite like, how did I get here and what am I doing? And so there's this talk about, I've got imposter syndrome, because eventually they're going to find out that I'm not who they think I am. And so even though they're qualified for the position, they feel like they're faking it, and someone's going to find out. And this comes from people who have really high expertise in some areas as well. Now, I've not had a full-fledged experience of this feeling, but I did find myself wondering what people were thinking in hiring me for this job. So I figured out my own way to look at this. It's like if you're in a position where you are doing well, but might be having that imposter feeling, stop and think about what's really happening. And I did that with this. It's like, how did you get where you are? Who brought you in? Who supports you? Now think about these people that brought you in. Are they smart people? Of course they were. They engaged you. Do they seem to think you are competent? Well, of course, they wouldn't have brought you in. Do they walk around looking for you to mess up the act? That's probably no. And if they are, then you don't belong there anyway. And again, are these smart people and are they aware people? Did you lie to get where you are? Probably no. Are they smart people who pay attention? Notice how we keep coming back to that. It's like, I'm here and I'm doing this thing, and oh, well, golly, these people seem to know what they're doing. And I kept asking my question, and I went through it, and I realized that if other people are supporting what you're doing, and you're actually doing a good job, that feeling of inadequacy is only that, a feeling. Because if people agree that you belong, you deserve to be there. It's really that simple. And if they don't agree, you deserve to find a better place, and that's simple too. Accept that you're accepted. Not accepting that you're accepted is just another way of not receiving. Accept the good that comes your way. Allow people to do good things for you. Even when you cannot understand why a person is giving to you, be gracious, accept, receive. When good comes to you and you feel like you don't deserve it, or that you're being greedy and needy, remember the principle of circulation. All life is in motion all of the time. Life is spirit in motion. It is inevitable, and you can't stop it. You can set up a resistance, and you can slow things down or divert the energetic stream in a different direction, but you can't stop it. Remember that we are all part of that same energetic pattern, the expression of spirit in this world. And we are so interconnected that we really can't see it objectively. One of the things that is mentioned in the Abundance Project book that we're using on Wednesday nights is this author's description of why we have a sense of separation was really cool. And one of the points he makes is that we are all energy. And if we didn't have some sort of sense of separation, we'd just be bumping into each other when we walked around. We have to have a sense of separation in order to be able to sort out living in a material plane, but it does not mean that we are separate. I loved how he did that. That was another really good way to think about it. So when you refuse another person's offering, you are not only deflecting your prosperity, you are interfering with their prosperity because you're stopping the flow. You're cutting off circulation. So when a person offers to do something for you or give you something or pay you for a service, no matter how uncomfortable you are, please accept. And then go work on your discomfort somewhere else. You deserve to be safe, and so do they. You deserve to be whole, and so do they. You deserve to be content, and so do they. You deserve to have all that you need to live a full life, and so do they. We do this together. Learn to receive with grace. Learn to receive with joy. Learn to receive with love. Receiving is the greatest gift you can give to the giver. And so if we go back to that passage in Acts, I think we can safely edit it to say, it is as much a blessing to receive as it is to give. Yeah. And so it is.
Thank you, Rev. And she's going to complete our series of Manifesting Anything, part 4 next week, discovering your channels for abundance. And at this time, I would like to those who may be online who would, well, first of all, those who would like to have prayer. Right after the service, the chaplains are available in the courtyard to pray with you. If you have a challenge that you're going through or growing through at any time, know that there's always a divine answer for you, and they will help you see that by helping you rise up and see things from a higher point of view. Or if you have something you just want to celebrate and add more energy to, they're available to do that too, because you don't have to pray when things are bad. You can just pray and just bring more of this good that is here in my life. So sometimes we just wait for an emergency and then say, oh my God, where's God? I need to pray. You don't have to wait until that moment comes. For those who are online that are brand new that want to connect with Spiritual Life Center, you can fill out an online welcome card, and we appreciate you tuning in with us today. And for those who are present here for today and are new, any newcomers here today? Anybody here for the very first time? Would you raise your hand? Oh, we got a few folks right up here, right in the third row. We appreciate you. We behold the magnificence that you are. And there's a card that we're handing out to you, as well as a purple ribbon. If you fill out the card, we'll stay in contact with you. If you want to know what's going on here at Spiritual Life Center, we'll give you an opportunity to know what's happening. And we just behold the magnificence in you. As you wear the purple ribbon, you'll get that special Spiritual Life Center greeting. We thank you for your presence, and we see you doing magnificent things, because this is the nature of each and every one of us, and we support each other in going to that place. For those who are online that like to support Spiritual Life Center with your gift or your love offering, you can simply text SLC Love to 44321. That's SLC Love to 44321. Or go to our website, slcworld.org, click the Donate tab, and you can give in other ways, including by mail. And if you are watching us on any of the platforms, if you just like us, share, comment, forward it to someone, it'll give us an opportunity to share more of what we're about to more and more people, because ultimately, in the end, we're about lifting consciousness everywhere, because we are interconnected on that soul level, and whenever anyone is lifted up, we all are lifted up. And for those who are present that like to give today, we just invite you to take your gift or your love offering and symbolically raise it to the heavens, knowing that's always expanding good. And if you've given already, we know that we're in a principle that says whatever we give out, it does come back to us, because ultimately it's an energy that we're engaging in all of the time. And with that awareness, let's affirm our offertory blessing together. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. Thank you, God.
Lately I've been noticing
Another Sunday
how much
done.
I've
Another
been
Sunday,
blessed
well,
with people to love, some peace of mind and happiness. It makes me want to pass along this love I've received as a way of giving thanks for what's been given to me. I've got a strong heart. I've got a strong love, and I'm ready to use the gifts I've been given to make this world a better place to live in. Ready to use the gifts I've been given to make this world a better place to live in. I used to have a lust for more that bordered on greed, till I looked around and saw that I had more than I need. I thought I had to have it all before I could share, till I realized what's mine to give has always been there. I've got a strong heart, yeah. I've got a strong love, and I'm ready to use the gifts I've been given to make this world a better place to live in. Ready to use the gifts I've been given to make this world a better place to live in. I may not make a difference that the whole world can see, but if I can show more kindness, that's what matters to me. I'm changing on the outside, but I'm here to declare the difference on the inside is now I'm aware. I'm losing my desire to be what I'm not, and I've got what I want now that I want what I got. I've got a strong heart, yeah, yeah. Give it up for the AC band. I couldn't do this without these guys.
As I said before, Lorette, thank you for sharing your gifts, using your gifts, making not only the world a better place, but Spiritual Life Center a better place, as well as all of our members of our Soul Light Connection. And Doug, right? Yes. Just filling in for Paula as we continue to hold her in the light for healing and upliftment. And we bless those who have blessed us with their gifts and offerings, whether online or here in person, because we know that those gifts are providing a space and a place for those who are seeking to really fulfill their potential as spiritual beings, as expressions of the divine. And they provide a place for individuals to support one another to move in that direction. So we give our blessing and appreciation for those here today and those online that have supported us. And for those who left their prayers in the prayer box today or throughout the week, we're reminded that we all have challenges that we go through or grow through from time to time. And in those moments, we can lean on a presence that is with us and supporting us always. And no matter what the challenge may be, no matter what the seeming problem that we may be facing on the material plane, on the spiritual plane, there are only divine and perfect solutions. This presence only knows those solutions, and when we lift ourselves to be one with these solutions right here and now, and then we begin to see how those solutions are expressed and anchored in our life and in our world. This is the nature of God. It is changeless. It is always for us, never against us. It is always pulling the highest and best within us out so that we can say without a doubt, when you see us, you see the presence that sent us. And we're grateful for that right here and right now. We take that in. No matter what we're going through or growing through at any moment, God is on the field. And we just need to show up, be open and receptive. And as I like to say, when you believe you deserve it, the universe will serve it to you each and every moment of our day. It is done. We are grateful. Amen. Thank you, God. Well, let us now say our prayer for protection together. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, I am, and all is well. Let us sing our peace song. Always great. Let there be
Peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With
God as creator, God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony.
Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now.
Let us be the moment.
With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let it begin with me. Nice.
Peace and blessings to you. Have a great week, and stick around for some postlude music. And if you want to know more about Spiritual Life Center, come to our community orientation session.
Yeah, Russell wrote this jam, of course. Stick around and give it a listen. Maybe dance.
Hey,